what if we didn't wait? What if we started to view our time as a limited resource and started to spend it where we could really move the needle on our business forward? What if we didn't wait to really realize our purpose and pursue our impact in the world? So, when my husband and I made the intentional decision to slow down and hit the road with our kids for a year, 2 years, whenever, we decided we wanted to both work harder and play harder, but we wanted our work to be much more intentionally designed. It wasn't now built around achieving some generic revenue goal that would give us a sense of wealth or false purpose, if you will. It was now really built around creating an impact with others that, would make us live into our own sense of purpose. So for me, that was working with small business owners and founders. It's something I've done now for about 15 years, off and on. And so this was something I really wanted to get back to and to help others, really avoid many of the mistakes I made. And for him, he is a retired Marine and he had never had the chance to really live into this creative space that he felt pulled to really explore. And then together as a family unit, we wanted to be much more intentional in how we educated our kids. We know that there's going to be a period of time coming at some point in the future that our kids are not going to want to hang out with us anymore. And so my husband and I want to exploit it for as long as we can right now. And so, while we were going through all of this process and kind of rethinking how we spend our time, it was then that I sort of started reading Clayton Christensen's book and started really re-examining, the purpose of my life. It wasn't money or titles or a professional career or some amount of success that was ever going to help me feel fulfilled in my life. What I really wanted and valued was to help others realize their dreams, to build key relationships, to make sure that I had a really great relationship with each of my kids and that I was creating an impact outside of myself that was much bigger than myself. And so I started to really think about how I was going to approach Scale and design it in a way that wasn't driven by the wrong things. It wasn't driven by any sort of external factor, but instead it was driven by, yes, giving me the time and freedom that I really wanted, but also helping to create an impact with other small business owners and founders outside of myself. Again, I'm just going to go back to the premise of you need to start to value your time more than your cash. And when you start to do that, you're actually going to find you end up generating more cash in the long run.